All right, LeBron and Austin Reeves just combined for 72 points. Despite them also combining for 17 turnovers, the Lakers beat the Blazers in Portland, a team that previously was having a win streak at home. So even though the Blazers are notoriously a pretty bad team, they've been on a bit of a hot streak lately, so it's still an impressive win. Let's start with talking a little bit about tonight's game. First of all, it was extremely sloppy. Throughout, I felt pretty confident that the Lakers would still win, but it was in an ugly fashion that wasn't great to watch as a fan. It felt to me like it was pretty much all LeBron and Austin generating any sort of offense tonight, and I think the numbers would back that up too. The next highest scorer was DFS. He had 10 points. LeBron made a lot of careless passes. He had like 11 turnovers. I want to maybe 10 or 11 turnovers. And with Austin, he had a lot of turnovers too. I just feel like he's been guarded very heavily lately. He's like getting the superstar treatment, and I think it causes him to over dribble a lot and make some careless passes, shoot shots he shouldn't shoot. And I think it's been something he's been having to adjust to for a while. Some games it seems like a bigger problem than others, and tonight it felt like it was kind of a big problem. Not to a point where that caused the Lakers to lose, fortunately, but his shooting percentage tonight wasn't anything special, even though he had 32 points or something. His shooting percentage wasn't great because I feel like he was forcing a lot of shots, just dribbling it a lot, and making some bad passes. And that's coming from an Austin Reeves fan, so that's just me being honest about tonight's game. It's going to be weird seeing how he adjusts to this fit in the future with Luka. Obviously, Luka didn't play tonight, but it's just something that I'm keeping my eye on and very curious to see. One more kind of sidebar on Austin. I feel like he's been taking a page from LeBron and Luka's playbook of complaining about calls. There were at least 2 plays that game where his hands were up in the air. He was complaining about a no call, and the other team just runs off in the opposite direction for 2 points. If I was an Austin Reeves hater, I would think it's pretty annoying, but fortunately, I'm not. He played well tonight as a whole. Like I said, 32 points, and he had some really nice hustle plays where he dove for the ball or drew charge, and that's kind of how he made a name for himself as a Laker. So I think it's nice to see whenever he reverts back to that. Sometimes you don't see that too much, like this season. Even a little bit last season, you didn't see it as much as some of his earlier games with the Lakers. So LeBron had 40 points on 58% shooting, and that had to be like the most encouraging thing about tonight's game. It just feels like whenever he pulls up, it's going to go in, and looking at his shooting stats from tonight, that wouldn't be that far off from the truth. So since the trade, he's looked really pretty good, and he's had a lot of moments where he's turned back the clock and looks like peak LeBron out there. I'm thinking about that dunk against Mark Williams the other night against the Hornets. I thought that was pretty impressive. But besides those 2 guys, like I said, DFS was the next highest scorer with 10 points, which is fine. Solid on defense, hit some shots that felt pretty important at the time, and thought he played pretty well. A couple notes about the first game of the back-to-back, the game against the Hornets where Luka did play. Also just a pretty sloppy game, and I thought Luka played about as bad as he could play. I thought Austin, even before getting ejected, looked pretty horrible out there. LeBron had some nice moments, but just it wasn't enough with Luka and Austin playing that poorly, and in Austin's case, not even playing that much after he got ejected. I also just don't think the Lakers really had an answer for LaMelo out there. Vanderbilt hardly played. Granted, when he did, it wasn't like he was stopping LaMelo. Nobody was. It was a bummer to lose against the Hornets, considering how difficult this Lakers schedule is about to get. Nuggets, Mavericks, T-Wolves, Clippers. Like, there's not another easy game on the schedule like I would have assumed the Hornets game would be, or the Utah Jazz game before that, or this Blazers game. So I hope we get a Luka breakout game soon. And I hope it's against one of these good teams, but it's going to be tough, and I think the Lakers still have so much that they need to figure out. My overall verdict for tonight was the Lakers win, LeBron and Austin got a lot of points, They had a lot of turnovers, and there are still so many question marks with the Lakers team.